Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I will be sharing my gardening journey and harvest for the year 2025. You will get to see what I planted this season and how much I was able to harvest. The weather this year was very unpredictable. Some days were extremely hot and the very next day turned out to be cold, with hardly any rain most of the time. It was really tough for the plants to survive. I planted a lot this year, but only a few made it through. First, I will show you how my garden looked in the beginning. Later in the video, you will see how it has grown and how much we were able to harvest. I also have a few perennial plants like roses, hosta, dianthus, and even a purple flower. I don't know the name of it, but they all come back every year. We actually started our gardening in May by planting tomatoes, eggplant, green chilies, zucchini, spring onions, and purple beans. Along with those, we planted herbs like basil, mint leaves, oregano, that's the Indian oregano, rosemary, coriander leaves, and fenugreek leaves. By July, we could see them slowly growing despite the difficult weather conditions. The growth was really slow, but zucchini was doing well from the beginning. Zucchini was definitely a star in my garden. It grows really fast and you can harvest plenty from just a single plant. Normally, I hand pollinate to increase the yield, but this year I did not need to because we had lots of bee friends doing their job perfectly. Thanks to them, the zucchini plant produced so well. I usually pick them when they are medium sized and tender. They grow so quickly, sometimes just one day is enough for them to double in size. When I came back from a 1 week vacation, I found a humongous zucchini. Normally, oversized ones lose their tenderness and get filled with seeds. But luckily, this one was not too bad considering its size. Basil was another herb that grew really well this season. I harvested the leaves while they were still lighter in color. That's when they taste sweet and perfect, before the plant starts flowering. I use the fresh basil to prepare pesto, which comes in handy for many recipes. I also harvested mint leaves. They were so fresh and aromatic, perfect for making chutney. For my Indian oregano plant, I made tea and even added it to pakoras for extra flavor. Rosemary was another favorite. I use it in pasta and a variety of western dishes. From the kitchen, I sprinkled some fenugreek seeds on the soil, and within a week, beautiful green leaves started growing. Fenugreek leaves are really good for health. You need to harvest them before the plant flowers. By nature, they have a slightly bitter taste, and once they flower, the bitterness increases. I just harvested my first batch of fenugreek leaves. I washed them thoroughly since they had quite a bit of soil. These leaves are so versatile. You can make curry, pakoras, methi parathas, and so many other dishes. My dianthus also started flowering this year. It's a perennial plant, which means it comes back year after year with beautiful blooms. We also have a rose plant that comes back every year. This year it was hardly affected by insects. We trimmed it completely and it regrew healthy and strong. Next, let's move on to my green chili plant. It grew a little slower than expected, but still gave me a good yield this year. Surprisingly, they were not spicy at all. This year I also planted two varieties of tomatoes, beefsteak tomatoes and Roma tomatoes. We had a good harvest, but the main problem was squirrels. They would bite almost all the tomatoes and even manage to get to some of the green chilies and zucchinis. Protecting the plants from them was not easy, but somehow I managed. Now you might be wondering why I harvest my tomatoes when they are still raw. The reason is, even after growing big, they just were not ripening on the plant. We waited for quite some time, but from my gardening experience in Canada, I know it does not happen that quickly. So I usually follow two different methods to ripen them. The first is keeping the tomatoes in a bowl or vessel and covering it tightly with the cloth. The second is tying them in a cloth and waiting for a few days. Both methods work really well. Towards the end of August, I could finally see the Roma tomatoes ripening right on the plants themselves. But the beefsteak tomatoes were still stubborn. It was really hard for them to ripen on their own. Lastly, let's talk about my purple beans. I actually got the seeds from a friend, and last year I harvested a huge batch. I saved some seeds and planted them again this year. Purple beans grow quickly and give a very good yield. They look so beautiful in purple, but once cooked, they turn green. The taste is amazing. You can use them in sambar, stir fry, curry, kurma, and so many dishes. By around 2 months, they reach their peak. Honestly, they grow so fast. One day they will look tiny, and by the next, they are ready to harvest. Now let's do our harvest of purple beans. Every day, I can pick at least 10 beans. I usually save some for 2 to 3 days to make a fresh bean stir fry. The rest I wash, chop and freeze for later use. It's a pure bliss and I feel so grateful for having homegrown pesticide-free vegetables. For the last 2 to 3 months, we haven't had to buy beans, tomatoes, zucchinis, green chilies. It's been healthy and a great savings. That's all for today's gardening update. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more gardening stories, interesting recipes, and travel videos. See you in my next one.